Hike 10836 Old Mill Road, TD2 Engineering, engineers for the project, here on behalf of the applicant, able to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Any other proponents today? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Roll call.
Melton. Palermo. Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Johnson. Mr. President.
Yes.
Item 8 is approved, 7-0. Item 9, to consider a Class C liquor license for El Muchacho Alegre Authentic Mexican Cuisine located at 6222 North 72nd Street.
Public hearing and vote on number 9 is today. Proponents, please. Thought I saw someone coming down, maybe not. Any opponents? I don't see any opponents. I will close the public hearing, although we do usually require applicants on liquor licenses to appear at City Council for any questions we may have. And I don't think this applicant's by Zoom, like some other ones coming up here in a minute. But I will say this is in my district, and it is a restaurant that is currently operating at Sorensen Park Plaza. And judging by what I know about it and having seen the site as recently as yesterday, I'd be comfortable if this still moved forward today. Motion and a second. Roll call.
Melton. Palermo. Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Johnson. Mr. President.
Yes.
Item 9 is approved, 7-0. Item 10, to consider a Class I liquor license for Taipei 168 located at 2859 South 168th Street.
Public hearing and vote on number 10 is today. We have the applicant by Zoom. Let's see. Mr. Liu, we'll get you off Zoom, mute here in a second. There we go. Try that.
Yes.
Go ahead. Your name and address, please.
My name is Quan Liu. The business address is 2859 South 168th Street.
Great. Thank you. And here to answer questions?
Yes.
Thanks. Any other proponents on number 10?
Mr. President, Councilman, my name is Michael Rowberry, 16172 Spencer Street. I represent Quan and Taipei 168. I'm here to answer any other questions you all have.
Thank you. Other proponents on number 10? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Motion and a second. Roll call.
Melton. Palermo. Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Johnson. Mr. President.
Yes.
Item 10 is approved, 7-0.
Thanks.
Item 11, to consider a Class I liquor license for Exarban Nails located at 6722 Francis Street.
Public hearing and vote on number 11 is today. Proponents, please.
My name is Luke Tran. I'm a legal counsel for and appearing on behalf of the applicant to seek your approval of the Class I liquor license. I'll be ready to answer any question you may have.
Thank you. And your address, please?
I'm sorry.
Your address for the record?
10685 Bedford Avenue, Suite 114, Omaha, Nebraska 68134.
Thank you. Any other proponents on number 11? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Motion and a second. Roll call.
Melton. Palermo. Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Johnson. Mr. President.
Yes.
Item 11 is approved, 7-0. Item 12, to consider a Class I liquor license for Legacy Euros located at 6307 Center Street.
Public hearing and vote on number 12 is today. I believe we have the applicant by Zoom. We'll get you off mute here in a second. Okay, try that. Name and address, please.
Sorry about that. My name is Farooq Rakimov, 6307 Center Street, Omaha, Nebraska 68106, and I'm here to answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Any other proponents on number 12? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Motion and a second. Roll call.
Melton. Palermo. Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Johnson. Mr. President.
Yes.
Item 12 is approved, 7-0.
Thank you.
Item 13, to consider a Class I liquor license for Spencer's for Steaks and Chops located at 102 South 10th Street.
Public hearing and vote on number 13 is today. Proponents, please. Let's see, we have that proponent by Zoom, Ms. Miller. We'll get to you here in a second. There's two of you. We'll get you off mute here in just a second. Okay. All right, try that. Name and address, please.
Heather Mueller, address is 102 South 10th Street, Omaha, Nebraska 68102.
Great. Who do you have
And I'm
with you
here
there?
to answer any other questions. See, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. You're doing fine. Any other proponents today? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Roll call.
Melton. Palermo. Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Johnson. Mr. President.
Yes.
Item 13 is approved, 7-0.
Thank you.
Consent agenda. Any member of the city council may cause any item placed on the consent agenda to be removed. Items removed from the consent agenda shall be taken up by the city council immediately following the consent agenda in the order in which they were removed, unless otherwise provided by the city council rules of order.
The public hearing on agenda items number 14 and 15 was held on May 17th. Motion and a second to approve. Roll call.
Melton. Palermo. Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Johnson. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed, 7-0.
The public hearings on agenda items number 16 through 29 are today. If you wish to address the city council regarding these items, please come to the microphone, indicate the agenda item number you wish to address, identify yourself by name, address, and who you represent, and if you are a proponent or an opponent. And for council members' knowledge, we do have the applicants by Zoom for 16, 17, 19, and 20, should questions arise.
Luis Jimenez, 2709 Dewey Avenue. I want to support item 27, which allocates $100,000 from the Community Development Block Grant Program to the Latino Center of the Midlands for their youth internship program. I know there's a lot of young, eager kids to prepare for their future, and this is important opportunity that the city can provide. I do want to comment on their name, the Latino. I encourage them to remain the Latino Center of the Midlands and not change it to what is common, or it's been more common for Latino. I think it's pronounced Latinx. And the messaging behind that has been that it's a way to be genderless or inclusive of a variety of people who are Latino. But for me, I'm actually a little bit older. I think that Latino was intended to be that, to be genderless and inclusive, and that's from the language, the Spanish language. And I'm not disagreeing that we need to be inclusive and find ways to have good messaging, but I like I said, I think Latino works just fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other testimony?
Larry Store, 5015 Lafayette Avenue, Omaha, 68132. I'm for this. It's federal block grants through forward of 2 through the city. but it is needed. It's needed in also other communities. But I also want to present a little bit of a protest. I think he opened it up with the word inclusive and his little diagrams of the language differences. And I think that was probably out of order, but you don't call him out of order, you call me out of order. So I am presenting to you today the same document that I presented this morning to the Douglas County Board. And it is about the Global Faith Organization.
Larry, that's nothing to do with number 27.
Thank you, I expected it. Yeah, thank you much.
All right.
Appreciate your
You're done. Next testifier on numbers 16 through 29, please. Public hearing's closed. Motion to approve items 16 through 29 and a second. Roll call.
Melton. Palermo. Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Johnson. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 30, an ordinance to enter into a purchase agreement with McQueen Equipment LLC to purchase 11 emergency vehicles and 7 med units at a total cost of $10,977,310.75.
Thank you. Is there a motion? Motion to approve. Second. Motion and a second. And then just for the record, I think we did discuss this at length last week, but I think council members did a good job of going through why this was so important, and this shift of funding we're talking about to fund what would be 19 pieces of new equipment for the fire department, most of which are rescue squads, which is by far the largest number of runs they have, but then also certainly needed equipment as it applies to aerials and pumpers too. And the change of funding is amalgamating bonds, but also a cash influx from our surplus right now. But going forward, we just need to be mindful of staying committed to this change in funding in future years to continue this replacement of equipment we know is badly needed for our firefighters as they seek to provide public safety throughout our community. And with that, roll call.
Melton. Palermo. Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Johnson. Mr. President.
Yes.
Item 30 is approved, 7-0. Item 31, an ordinance to approve a transfer of a permanent water main easement, MUD, to relocate facilities for property located at Levi Carter Park.
Public hearing on number 31 is today. Proponents, please. Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Item 32, an ordinance to approve and authorize disbursement of the National Drug Control Police Grant Agreement in the amount of $474,091.
Public hearing on number 32 is today. Proponents, please. Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Item 33, an ordinance to approve the Omaha Downtown Improvement District Association 2022-2023 budget and work plan and to levy special assessments within BID 6874 in the amount of $586,786.05.
Public hearing on number 33 is today. Proponents, please.
Good afternoon. Holly Barrett, Executive Director of the Omaha DID, 1403 Farnham, number 802. I'm here to answer any questions. I am going to just talk really quickly about one really exciting thing that's happening with all of the amazing development that's happening in the urban core. We are trying to keep up, and we're trying to help with some of the beautification that has fallen down the last couple of years. In 2020 and 2021, we were hit with low labor just like everyone else, and we couldn't hire anyone. We were literally without a gardener for an entire growing season, and it really shows. So we are in the process this year of devoting as much of our funds as we can to replanting all 75 blocks. That's close to 300 flower beds, tree wells, and above ground planters. We are doing this in conjunction with a huge push from residents and from some grants that we've been seeking and some real help and support from our councilman, Danny Begley. So we're really excited to move forward on this, and we already have trucks out there, so I sure hope you approve our assessment. I'm here to answer any other questions.
Thank you. Any other proponents on number 33? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Mr. Begley, you're recognized.
Thanks, Mr. President. Holly, it's good to see you without a mask on. We've had a lot of conversations, and I appreciate all the hard work you've done. And that my predecessor, Councilman Jerem, who sat in this seat, every day I get better at this job, and I appreciate the work that folks like you do that give your time and your efforts And COVID hit all of us hard, particularly, as you said, the beautification of downtown that you never gave up on or stopped working on, but labor shortages and the ash borer and all kinds of things that killed trees and all the issues we've dealt with. But I know we're working hard as you are to keep moving forward. I'm looking forward to the progress you continue to make, and I'll do everything I can to continue to support that. So thank you.
Thank you. Over for the lights. Before we go to non-action items, I wanted to request that the council consider item number 60, which is a non-action item today, to make it clear that we intend to have that item's public hearing on June 14th, which would mean a vote on June 28th. So it just delays that item by 1 week so that that development can have a public meeting with its neighborhood that doesn't get disrupted by next week's holiday. Is there a motion?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Melton. Palermo.
Yes.
Rowe.
Yes.
Bagley.
Aye.
Harding.
Yes.
Johnson. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed 7-0. Non-action items, items 34 through 60, do not require public hearing or city council consideration at this meeting, but will be placed on a future agenda for public hearing and/or vote. The reason for non-action is noted after the item on the agenda, as well as the date the item is expected to appear on agenda for consideration.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Roll call.
Melton. Palermo.
Yes.
Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Johnson. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed 7-0. Meeting is adjourned at 2:21.